Welcome to the Posture Pros. I'm Dr. Dan with Dr. Pascal here at Lindenwood's Chiropractic. Well, it's the new year and a lot of people want to start doing some amazing, crazy things and change their body and change their health. But really what I want you to maybe focus on is just a little bit of progression. I would rather you slowly improve over the year than to do dramatic changes and for them to only last maybe 2 weeks. So what we want to start with is a key component to exercises. We want to basically cover 4 things: flexibility, stability, aerobic, and strength. So this is a 4-part video that we want to basically explain to you a few things on how you could improve spinal mobility, flexibility, stability, strength, and aerobic.
So again, instead of setting lofty goals, which, it's not a bad thing, we want to help people take a very small step in the right direction. We want to make it easy. So we're going to show you guys these 4 pillars in individual workouts that you could do at home with no equipment and in less than 10 minutes. So that's the goal, right?
Yep.
And it shouldn't be so hard that, you're discouraged from doing it. It should be so simple that you're like, oh, that wasn't bad. I'm excited, or I'm okay to do that again tomorrow. And I think that's the key to building the habit and sort of changing your belief around exercise.
Yep.
Okay? So the first pillar we're going to talk about today is flexibility. Flexibility is a key component to not only your overall health for every joint, but really for your spinal health as well. As we lose flexibility in the spine begins to break down. So we're going to go through 3 exercises, and those 3 exercises are going to be performed at 30-second intervals. The first exercise is going to be spinal rotations. So you would perform spinal rotations for 30 seconds, and at the end of that 30 seconds, you would rest for 30 seconds. So basically, the first one takes 1 minute. Once we're done spinal rotations, we would get into the exercise called the Jefferson Curl. Same thing, 30 seconds of exercise, 30 seconds of rest. And then lastly, it would be reaching with lateral bending. So let's first go back to the spinal rotations. So Dr. Dan, tell us, what are some of the benefits to doing the spinal rotation exercise?
For me, it's one of my favorite exercises to do first thing in the morning. It basically wakes your whole body up from your ankles all the way to your neck. Everything is moving and rotating and basically waking up the whole spine. It gets proper movement, basically gets you ready for the day.
Absolutely. And a lot of people actually get hurt, probably because they're lacking spinal rotation in general. People will, you often hear, I was twisting and reaching for my seatbelt or twisting and reaching for something on the floor and I heard a pop. So the spinal rotation is not only a good way to get motion into the spine, it's a good way to keep that healthy motion and prevent injury.
Now, I know a lot of our patients have their postural stretches and exercises that they do, and they may do them. Some of them do first thing in the morning, also some of them doing during the day, but these exercises are a great thing to get you moving in the morning. So like you just said, people get hurt when they're first doing a rotation. So if you're not moving at all and it's minus 30 degrees outside, you're putting your seatbelt on and you're cold and your body is not warmed up, your body could go through a lot of stress. So this is a great exercise to do first thing in the morning.
So you start with your spinal rotation. So once we've hit 30 seconds, then you're just going to relax for 30 seconds, take a breather, and you're going to get set to do the second exercise, which is called the Jefferson Curls. Now the Jefferson Curls is a different form of motion for the spine. So it's not side-to-side rotation, but it's called flexion and extension. So what you would do is you would start by tucking your chin in, and then you're going to start rounding your back all the way down until you're basically sort of reaching to touch your toes. You're going to go as far as you can. You'll pause there and you can hang out there for a few seconds because that's a nice stretch. That is the flexion position. Then you would slowly reverse that. So then you would sort of think about coming back up from your tailbone, all the way up to your head till you're standing nice and tall. And you would go through that flexion and then all the way back up extension again for 30 seconds. Right? From there, you would pause and rest 30 seconds. So the Jefferson Curl is a great one. Same thing too. It's warming up a new motion of the spine, which is that flexion extension. Really good, again, to prevent injuries while bending forward.
And again, sometimes if some people are waking up in the morning and they're tight in the lower back or their hamstrings, this is, again, a great exercise to warm up the spine, warm up the body so that when you're reaching down and picking up your socks, you're not going to hurt yourself.
Okay. Now the last exercise, so once we've rested 30 seconds after our Jefferson curls, we're going to get into the third exercise, which is called reaching with lateral bending. So now we're getting a new motion to the spine. So on this one, you'd interlock your hands or your fingers, and you're basically reaching up to the sky as high as you can, so sort of anti-gravitational, if you will. From there, you're going to pause a second, then you're going to reach over and bend as far to one side as you can, pause, and then reach over and bend as far to the other side as possible, and pause. Now we're getting that third dimension of movement into the spine, which is called lateral bending.
Right.
So a great exercise, not only to create motion in the spine, but it's actually really good to help build some of those oblique muscles and those good, the ab muscles, quote unquote, on the side of your abs. Yes. So once you've done all 3 exercises, now it's been 3 minutes exactly, and you can repeat that 3 times. So the whole thing is 9 minutes long. It takes less than 10 minutes, and you're going to build some great flexibility for the spine.
Yeah. So this is, again, is part 1 of a 4-part series. So today, in this video, we're focusing on flexibility. On your next video, we're going to be focusing on your stability. So stay tuned for video number 2.